We're wondering if this sign belongs in our museum or are they going to need to put it up again? So here we have Hope. We're going to travel along the number 3 here a little ways until we get to the 3 and 5 split. Now this is the first checkpoint once you split onto the Highway 5. The first checkpoint that they have, just making sure that no public are driving onto the road because the highway is still closed. We'll travel a little further north here. If you know the highway, you know that this is the rock cut now. They are blasting this whole rock cut out for material so that they can fill in the bridge sites and the washout sites as well. So they're blasting all of that. Alright, so let's head a little further north here. We'll go down the rock cut. Here we have a missing lane on the Highway 5. The river actually came right in and swept this whole chunk of lane right out. So they have all traffic running on the north. Now we'll head further north here. And here we get to the Othello Exit. Now this here is that big landslide that we showed you. The river came in and took out this whole chunk of the side of the hill. And then we have the missing exit at the Othello Exit. The whole exit is missing. You cannot take the exit. There. Somebody camped in there. How they get across? Stuck there. Oh, they made a way. So let's head further north from the Othello Exit. We'll travel up. If you drive to Coquihalla a lot, you will know that this is the red and white tower, the tram tower. It is a checkered red and white tower. A little landmark there. Now we come to the first mudslide that you have if you're traveling from Hope up to Coke. This is the first mudslide. It occurred right by a over river crossing for the pipeline. They have a white pipe that crosses the river here. They had a mudslide come down over the highway and into that pipe. They have traffic going through it. The road crews are able to make it through, but they are working on repaving that part. So moving north from this mudslide here, we'll move north. Now we come to this cliff. This cliff was the cliff that we actually ended up having to hike over when the flood first happened. We ended up hiking from this position right here, up, over top of the cliff, and then down to this service road where Matthew was. It doesn't look like that much of a hike, but it is quite a bit of an incline, and then over, and then quite a bit of a decline. Now, very difficult.
Yep.
You can do it.
Come over here.
Moving north from this cliff, we will travel to exit 192 Sawakwa Bridge. This bridge, this was washed out. Both sides of the highway were washed out. They do have the northbound lane built up so that the road crews can make it across, and they are working on getting the southbound lane paved, built up and paved for the reopening. Moving north, we have the RV site. This was in our previous video, the RV that got swept away by the Coquihalla River. The river ended up coming in and taking out this whole chunk of land. So this all is now just riverbed. Now we'll move north from here. Here we come to Mike and Ute site. This is the Sawakwa chain off area. This is where Mike and Ute parked their RV for the majority of their time spent out here, which was about 24 days. We'll move further north. Now we come to the Carolyn Mines Bridge. Both lanes were washed out. The Coquihalla River ended up gouging and taking out both lanes of this bridge. They have brought in quite a bit of material and built it up so they can now get their road crews across this bridge to further mudslides.
Wow.
We will travel further. Here we have the logging bridge. In our previous video, we thought that if we could get to this bridge and get across this bridge, it would take us back to town. We could get across this bridge and it would take us over to this service road that's on the north side of the Carolyn Mines Bridge. And this service road actually follows the highway. It bypasses this whole chunk of highway to the other side, to the south side of the Sawakwa Bridge. So if we could drive that road, we would be able to make it back to Hope. But unfortunately, this logging bridge was washed away. Now, right after this flooding happened and the bridge was taken out, this is where a lot of the people had to abandon their cars. There was a whole line of cars parked here, and the helicopters, the day after the first flood, helicopters came in, landed, and helied the people back to Hope. So now we will head further north here. Here we had another mudslide that occurred. There's a rock face that's on this side of the highway. The mudslide ended up coming down over that rock face, covering the whole highway. They do have that cleared now. Unfortunately, this is as far north as we can get with our cameras and just our vehicles. So we do not know what is happening further up north. But they are working very, very hard and working very, very fast, and it looks like a very, very, very good possibility they will have some traffic moving at least by the end of the year.